thought I would do a video while I take a walk, but it might be too windy. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. I love that y'all are giving me suggestions on things that you want me to blabber about. That's so helpful whenever my brain is just not wanting to work. I went yesterday, I broke down, went to the chiropractor, went to the doctor and got a steroid shot. So my bum hurts. Hopefully, I didn't sleep well last night. I was hurting pretty bad, but hopefully it will help. Here comes the wind again. Get the windbreak. Hopefully it will help with things because, you know, sometimes the brain just doesn't want to kick in whenever the body's hurting. Clean and unclean foods. I was going to touch on that. And I thought I would do it while I was walking. I was just going to take a little walk, but I don't know if Oklahoma is going to agree with me or not. I'll keep it close. So if you're looking at my nose, at my boogers, I'm sorry. I can't. I could try to hold the phone up higher, but I don't have one of those fancy thingamabobbers. Anyway, the Bible is pretty clear about what's clean and unclean, which is helpful. There's a couple of places where it's just a little bit confusing. We wonder sometimes if chickens are clean, because chickens will eat about anything, including chicken, and that's just gross. But we do have chickens, obviously, mostly for the eggs, but we do butcher them every once in a while. Okay, for fish, it's very clear. It has to have scales and fins. So tuna and salmon are both fine. My favorite is crappie. And out here before the drought, some of the, give this some cover, some of the ponds we could get like really big crappie, which was awesome. So it's my favorite because it's very filling and it's really yummy. Trout, yeah, things like that. Bass, you know, if it's got scales and fins, it's clean. So shark is not, octopus is not, shellfish are not, you know, makes it pretty easy. Catfish is not, which used to be my favorite fish, but it's not anymore. It's one of the easiest things out here to catch in the creeks. Yeah, shark, catfish and the crayfish, whatever they are. Anyway, but yeah, we don't do that anymore. So fishing for the trout and stuff is more fun. Anyway, I hate using a bobber. I'm not patient enough for that. I'd rather sit with a book. So there's my fishing. As far as like meat, cattle and stuff, it's supposed to have a cloven hoof, which means 2 pieces in the hoof. So no horses, no donkeys, cows, goats, sheep. A pig has a cloven hoof, but it doesn't chew the cud. So that's the other. So with fish, it has to have scales and fins. With mammals, it has to chew the cud and have a cloven hoof. So pork does not chew the cud. They clean things up. And it kind of, you can tell because pigs, you know, a rattlesnake can bite a pig and it doesn't, it just shakes it off. And pigs eat anything. They're scavengers. And, you know, the fish without the scales and fins, like catfish, are the scavengers. They're the cleaner uppers. They clean up the bottom of the pond and stuff. So that's how that is. There's some clean food right there. Cute little calves. And we've got some red heifers. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard for me to tell. Got a bunch of red heifers on here. Side note, the red heifer thing, don't worry about that. You know, the Pharisees can come over here and buy red heifers from Texas too. That's a big hype. They're trying to raise money for their stuff. Don't fall for it. The red heifer is specifically for making soap. The red heifer has really nothing to do with the temple except for cleaning. The red heifer was taken outside of the camp and was not even killed in the camp at all. It was taken outside of the camp, everything was burned, and then the ash was used to make lye for the soap. That's what the red heifer thing is. So if you didn't know, we're getting caught up in the whole red heifer thing. Such minded-ease has nothing to do about anything. And the red heifer doesn't have GMO'd or, anything special. It just has to be without blemish. You know, they don't want a sick one or something like that. Or a crippled one is all that means. So you can tell I haven't been walking much because I'm huffing and puffing already. So that's the mammals and the fish. What am I missing? This means no rattlesnake. I used to butcher and fry up rattlesnake. No alligator. That was one of my favorite foods. You know, those things aren't clean. So yeah, it's pretty basic. Rabbits chew the cud, but they have paws instead of hooves. So elephants have toes, and I think a giraffe would be clean, but a camel wouldn't, has toes instead of hooves. So anyway, it makes it pretty easy as far as that's concerned. And then something about the coffee. I have gone to an organic coffee. I'll post a link to the one that I'm actually getting. I never got around to ordering any of John Levi's. I always wanted to try it, but budgeting. And I don't know that it's available anymore. Last time I looked, it wasn't. There's a lot of toxicity in the regular, just store-bought coffee, so I'm trying to get away from that. The one that I get is like little coffee bags. It's for one of those fancy machines, but I use it like hot tea, and I take one of those Yeti type cups and put my hot water in that coffee bag in it and let it steep for a while, and that's my coffee situation. Yeah, I'll try to, put a link to that and let you guys know where I get my coffee. And I'm just about at 10 minutes, so I think that's pretty good. I got out, and hopefully you can hear it all beyond the wind. I did some editing. It took forever. And I think I have enough time to talk about the birds. The birds are a little bit more confusing. There's some simplistic. It has to be like a flying bird, so no emu or ostrich, which I used to eat emu. So it's like beefsteak, pretty cool, but yeah. And the emu oil, we're not supposed to mess with the unclean carcasses and stuff, so I quit using the emu oil too. And I don't know if that's really biblical to use it or not to use it, but that's just kind of how I felt. And then again, scavengers would be unclean, so eagles, owls, hawks, vultures, things like that would be unclean. Quail is clean. God even fed the Israelites with quail, so it would be quail, pheasant, which, would probably include peacocks and turkeys. They're kind of in that category. So, dove. So doves and pigeons would be okay. So the birds are just a little bit more sketchy on some of them, but there are some that are definitely doves, pigeons, pheasant, and quail are definitely clean. And then some of the others I'm not quite sure of. So anyway, hopefully that helps.